If we think we have bad juries here, you should want to hear what goes on in Australia.
Really?
Some people think we have bad juries.
What goes on in Australia? Fosters?
No,
Fosters is bad, dude.
I mean, they are really vicious. Really vicious. To the point that, you know, it's an absolutely humiliating experience for everybody. And the whole purpose is to humiliate everybody.
I thought you were really watching
I'm not humiliating anybody.
No.
I think the first year, of course, we try and find people that are more supportive. That's why we invite each and every one of you. I think three of you really represent positive input into the project.
You know, I think that what I always go into these events thinking is, you want to tell the student that's out there one thing that they did well, and try to recognize it. You know, say, hey, you know what, you really paid attention to this ground plane intersection. That's good. Keep that thinking going. So they can take that away and put it in their pocket and say, hey, I think I did something well from it. You can give them a criticism and say, hey, you know what, this part didn't work as well. And if you can do it with a little bit of humor, and you get a little fun. But it's just that makes it fun. If you get so serious where you do get humiliated, tell all of us to fuck right off. My luck says.
Well, there you go.
I was trying to be funny. The whole point of school is to figure out how you work and take that with you into the workforce and try to apply it. If you can't laugh at yourself now, you'll have a really tough time when you get out. Because what happens, you get let go. Yeah, I was supposed to find out about getting a little antsy. I'll get out of here and find out. Got a new teaching spot.
I think just from the last time I was here, the level of craft and the drawings and the models has improved so much. It's pretty impressive. So obviously you guys put in a lot of work and a lot of thought. And also just the way that you're talking about this project versus the other one I know is really early on. And it's good to see.
So what do you guys think so far? Is there something bugging you? Everybody's working together?
We don't get along at all.
Because honestly, the classes that do the best are the ones who share the most and get along. That's just a fact.
Yeah, no, yeah.
That's great.
I think ours
That's
is
really
We have a good section.
Yeah, they have caught on to critiques. They really talk to each other, use the language, and labor on it.
We put in the most amount of time.
We seem to. Has a logo. That's right, we've got a logo.
They do have a logo. That's one place we have to catch up. That's right.
Do you have any questions of us?
When are you going to teach here?
Yeah.
We can't all make it.
When I quit being the associate dean, it's not too far. They're not come back down.
Well, he is a first-class teacher. We hate to lose him out of this.
We very much appreciate
Yes.
all of your comments.
Yeah,
no,
Yeah.
all
I mean,
great.
Cadence had insightful, quoting Heidegger, and quite a few
True, yes.
references. We were very, very impressed. So, thank you.
Well, if I can just say one or two, can I say one or two
Yes,
little
I
things? I want to warn you about something a lot of you are saying, okay? And that's I want till I want it. There's a wonderful book by a woman who's called Louise Bogart, which is about a theory called viewpoints, which is how you learn to act, and it's a system for interacting with other actors on the stage. And she, in that book, makes the point that you should never, the director should never say, I want. You should never ask the director, what do you want? Nor should you say, I want. You should be concerned about what the play wants, okay, as you work together. And this is a way of spontaneously beginning to relate together to act. There's a man whose name is Ian Mitchell who's written a book recently that's called What Do Pictures Want? Okay, and he's making the point that pictures actually make demands of the artist. It's not the artist controlling the picture. And then last of all, I would Louis Kahn, who was a very important architect, asked buildings what they wanted to be. You know, there's a difference between looking at a project and saying, you know, of this project here, this project is saying I want to be a loom, you know, I want to be a loom. And then saying, okay, let me recognize that, let me find out more about looms, let me do that. It's a way of you're paying attention to something that when you say I want, you're not going to do it because it's all what you decide to do. So be careful of that, okay? Because it can get to be very, very insidious as a thing, and it's one of the things we all do as we start off, because we don't know what else to say. You know, we don't have a large background of knowing all these people. You know, I think the work is really wonderful. Okay, you got it in the neck a little bit because you were number one. Don't worry about that. One has to feel one's way into a project and a jury. So, you know, that wasn't intentional. You know, but it's really wonderful work, and I think the diversity of ideas and what you're dealing with is better than I've seen for a while, you know, in years past. And Pat asks me in every year, so I've been doing this for a long time, but it's really good work, and you should be proud of that you've done. I told Pat I have some drawings that I think you need to look at if you really want to know how to do sort of graphite-based drawings. And I'll maybe make a time and I'll bring them down here. They're drawings by Douglas Darden, and
Do you have the original?
I have the original, some of the originals.
You probably saw
I
some of
think
the
Eric may have
slides.
shown us some of
But as a slide was...
Yes, a slide.
I have the original. And they're remarkable drawings, and the only way you can really understand them is to actually, you can't touch them. But, you know, would be to actually touch them because they have a quality of surface because of the way they work that is just remarkable. I'll bring those down, I'll work. Maybe a Monday when I come down for an executive committee or something. They're worth a lot of money, so I might be careful. But, you know, the other thing that struck me is not one of you pointed to your drawings. You all used the model to explain what you were doing with, okay. Models, they used to be built back in the 1500s and 1600s, and then nobody built models, everybody did drawings. And it was only with the rise of the Bauhaus and Mies van der Rohe, the Germans, and with the Steel movement in the 1920s that people started to build models. So models are relatively, they're 100 years old as a technique in architecture, these kind of models. And drawings are, you know, you've spent a lot of time on the drawings, and at times when you present in future, you need to flip back and forward between those, okay? I mean, because, you know, until somebody said something about that, I was so worried about watching your model that I didn't see your drawing. Okay, and you've got to do that in the future. I mean, there are people who say that drawing is the way that architects think. Models are just a way of recording what you've thought. Okay, I could go on forever. I'm not going to do that.
Well, you know, they design a model, which is very good at looking at basic elements, plane, volume, and space. And so they really do concentrate on the model.
Le Corbusier said that you should design sitting in a chair with your eyes shut. And conceive the building in the mind. Architecture is a pure conception of the mind. Then you get up and take a pencil and draw it up. The drawing is only the way of recording what you've already decided.
That chair's called a toilet.